Mayor!
Sergeant Valyan, please have a seat.
Thank you, Mayor. Oh, so, do we have another appointment today, Mayor?
A big one. The Congress gave our municipality a huge amount of money because of the recent typhoon. You know how it goes, right, Sergeant?
Yes, Mayor.
Hello?
Mayor, I'm here.
Okay, thank you. Let's go, Sergeant Valyan.
Here are the funds that will be given to those families who are affected by the typhoon. It's approximately 50 million pesos a year.
Thank you, Secretary. Anyways, how's Congresswoman?
Our congresswoman is fine as always, Mayor.
Good to know. Just send my deepest gratitude to her.
Sure thing, Mayor. I'll go ahead.
Take care. Sergeant Palyari, please have a seat. Here. Thank you for your service.
Thank you also, Mayor.
Huwag ka mag-alala, may susunod pa dyan.
Ano po ibig niyo sabihin, Mayor?
Well, Congresswoman will send us 100 million funds for the reconstruction of houses to those families who were affected by the typhoon. I will be expecting your full cooperation, and you can also expect that you will be paid fairly.
No worries, Mayor. You can always count on me.
I know, because you are my most trusted personnel, and I know you won't disappoint and betray me.
Of course, Mayor. I won't.
Sana po makatulong sa inyo.
Thank you po, Kap.
Ano ba yan? Ito lang? Bakit? Ano ba naman? Sardinas! Isang bilay! Wala ko po may pera. Iyaw ko dyan. Baka kinurakot na naman yung kapitan. Eh, talagang ba marin pa tayo?
Hello, Congresswoman. Akala ko ba 100 million ang ibibigay ng funds? Pero ang sabi ng Secretary, 50 million lang. Alam mong hindi yun ang napagkasundo natin, di ba?
I'm sorry, Mayor. I forgot to tell you na natitirang pera is kabibigay lang. Pero asahan mo, bukas ibibigay ko na sa'yo. You know I don't break my words, right?
Yan ang gusto ko sa'yo, Congresswoman. Thank you.
No problem. I'll just text you the address.
Thank you, Congresswoman.
See you.
Okay, Congresswoman. Thank you again.
Congresswoman Lucas!
Mayor Malik, long time no see.
It is. Pero bakit kailangan pa natin dito magkita? Pwede naman sa opisina mo.
Masyadong maraming tao sa opisina ko, Mayor. And I don't want us to disturb. Anyway, this is the other half of the money just like we agreed.
Thank you, Congresswoman. Alam ko may isa kang salita.
Of course, but not just to you, but to our fellow citizens.
Every public servants do that, Congresswoman. But we have different ways to do it.
We're not the same, Mayor. I do it with full dignity and honor. While you corrupt the people's money.
What? What do you mean?
We're under arrest, Mayor. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. Tapos ka na, Mayor.
Sergeant Palyari, anong ibig sabihin nito?
We've been eyeing you for a long time, Mayor. And I'm impressed. You corrupt a lot. But sadly, your term ends here.
But Congresswoman,
Stop that explanation, Mayor. I'll just see you in the court.
Sergeant Palyari, traitor ka!
You know the deal, Mayor. To serve and protect.
Bitawan mo ako!
Paano nakakaapekto ang korupsyon sa bansa?
Corruption kasi ever since naman nandun na din siya eh. Kahit dito sa Pilipinas or even abroad, worldwide, kapag sinabi yung government, parang hindi mo maaalis sa isipan ng tao yung corruption behind it. Nakaka-apekto siya in a sense na maraming government officials, instead of them allotting the funds to the people and for the people, na bibigyan nila or na ilalagay nila yun sa ibang bagay. Kaya yung people, yung affected, tumataas yung bilihin, nawawalan ng trabaho kasi like for example, 'di ba may allotted for road what do you call this, yung pagpapayos ng roads, instead of the funds doon na napupunta, masisimulan pero hindi matatapos, hence the traffic, walang labor, walang trabaho yung tao, walang funds na walang pera na umiikot na sana naipapasahod sa mga mamamayan. Tapos it affects them ng mas matagal kasi hindi nagagamit ng tama na parang lumalago pa yung ekonomiya ng bansa. Yun yung take ko. Yun yung para sa akin na nakaka-apekto. Tapos, pinakamalaking effect niyan yung sa mindset kasi ng tao na boboto sa'yo eh. Parang may takot na hindi ko to boboto kasi baka maging corrupt lang siya. Or like yung husband ko, ayaw niyang bumoto. Kasi, ang iniisip niya, regardless naman kung sino umupo, magiging lang din eh, magiging masama lang din eh. Wala namang difference eh, wala namang pagbabago eh. So, sa kanya, it's better for him not to be involved in getting the people or in getting that person na maging president. Parang sa kanya, wala na ako, labas ako dyan. Kayo pumili niyan. Parang gano'n. So yun, may toll dun sa bansa, sa ekonomiya, sa pamumuhay, sa nagiging dami ng tao na nandun sa under poverty line. Tapos yun, sa mindset ng mga bumuboto na parang wag na lang, gano'n. So yun yung take ko about that.
So, bilang isang mamamayan, paano mo ginagamit ng tama yung boto mo sa pagpili ng ihahalal?
Ngayon kasi, simula nung nag-start ako mag-vote, nung 17 years old ako para dun sa SKP. Since yung religion ko, Iglesia ako ni Cristo, I gave it to them. So, I just follow what I am asked to do. Kasi, alam ko na, since, di ba nga, kahit naman sino ko, may chance na maging corrupt din sila eh. So, I gave it to dun sa church ko na sila yung mag-background check, magtingin, kumausap dun sa mga iboboto namin para nakaboto na ako na responsibilidad ko as mamamayang Pilipino. Tapos, nakaboto pa ako under dun sa kagustuhan ng church ko. Nagiging responsible ako in a sense na sumusunod ako sa belief ko, and at the same time sa Filipino people or Filipino youth. Yeah.
Thank you po.
Welcome.